Welcome to the Confused Sports Fan Podcast. I'm Bentley.
And I'm Alec, and today is August 10th, 2021, and this is the first edition of our monthly sports recap. All information in this podcast is up to date as of today, so if any of our takes age horribly, don't blame us. We'll start with the NBA section of the podcast.
Let's start with the NBA draft. Cade Cunningham, obviously,
First overall.
pick.
I mean, they had some doubts at the beginning. It was like they're considering other people than Cade Cunningham. Everybody was just like, just draft him, just draft him. And then eventually it came out that they were sure they were going to draft him.
I'm sure some of that was posturing.
Maybe. Other picks, I mean, nothing too surprising. Other than
number 4, Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs. That was surprising.
What type of player is Barnes? I didn't do much research.
He's more defensive oriented than.
Who drafted him?
Toronto.
Now that we know they've traded Lowry away, they could have used the guard maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely could have.
You're pairing Scotty Barnes with Siakam, or they're going to try and move Siakam.
Yeah, because I think a lot of teams want Siakam, definitely. Valuable piece.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around right now that Philly, Golden State, they want him.
All right. Next.
12th pick.
12th pick. What's his name? Josh Giddey? I forget.
No, Josh Giddey was the 6th pick. He went to Thunder.
Yeah. Let's talk about him first. We want to go chronologically in the draft of
his first play was really good in the summer league.
Oh yeah.
Then he got hurt.
Open lane, dunks it. Literally the next play on offense, I think. Like
he gets hurt.
Like come on.
Yeah, he gets hurt.
How unfortunate. Or he's just injury prone. I don't think it's that though.
I hope he's not injury prone, because I am a fan of the Thunder when I'm not rooting for the Celtics.
Of course. Oh, by the way, we're both Celtics fans, but we try not to be biased.
Yeah, we try. Yeah,
right.
He makes fun of me a lot for being more biased than I should be.
No. All right. Anyway, so you've mentioned a lot that the Thunder could have traded down for this pick, which is a very good.
I think they could have traded down. Don't know. Like, they already traded the 16th pick for more draft capital in the future. But I think Houston got a really good player out of. But anyway,
speaking of could have moved down, we gotta talk about the Spurs, man. What was that pick?
Yeah, Joshua Primo.
Freshman out of. I just know he was a freshman. He's super young.
Yeah, I don't know where he was out of, but first summer league game, I watched this.
Oh, is he good? I mean,
this big. The Spurs, they're down by 2 with 11 seconds left. Primo almost turns it over off of a bad pass.
Oh no! What happened?
So, 11 seconds left. They pass it in. Primo is like driving into the corner, passes it, and a Magic player tips it with his hand. Like he passed it right into the hand of the Magic guy. But luckily they were able to get the ball back. Brick the 3 to win it. So who are they playing against? Dallas, maybe? I think it was a blue jersey team. I don't remember. But they lost last night because of that play. And I think that's
you said it was against
mostly
the Magic.
Oh, did I say it was a Magic?
You said it was a Magic.
It was probably the Magic. Okay. No, the Magic went to overtime with a different team yesterday.
All right, whatever. But they lost
anyway.
the game with this new player. We get it.
Yeah, they lost it. They lost the game, and it's mostly because of him.
How many points did he have?
I would say because he drove into the corner, and it was horrible spacing. I don't remember how many points he had. It was horrible spacing. He passed it to a guy that was 3 feet away from him, and the Magic player got a hand on it. And it was a very contested 3, like right by where Primo was. It was horrible play.
I mean, that's a lottery pick. So I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Guy probably didn't
Yeah.
think he was gonna get drafted there. So
I don't think he was even invited to the draft.
I think he was there probably, but like didn't think he was gonna get picked. Even. I don't know. It's weird. Weird pick. Lots of things to figure out there. So next thing, who do you think is going to win the Rookie of the Year?
I know I shouldn't be basing it off one game, but Jalen Green for Cade Cunningham as of now.
Jalen Green. Who's that?
Yeah. He was the second overall pick for Houston.
Is that the guy that's really good at defense?
No, that's Scotty Barnes. He went to Toronto in the 4th pick. Jalen Green, he's a scorer.
I like scoring.
He dropped 23 last night on 9 for 18 shooting and 4 for 9 from 3.
All right. Time for my take. Completely unbiased pick. It's not like I like, UConn. We're going to go James Bouknight. Underrated pick. He's also an elite scorer. Watched him quite a bit at UConn. He was pretty nice, but that's not actually a really good take at all, and it's not a very serious one because there's already a lot of guard play in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball, obviously, so he'd be backing him up. Maybe not even, so I don't know. Actually,
this is why
he's listed as a shooting guard, I think, so we'll see, but I mean, I just want to say that because hometown favorite, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is why I think Jalen Green will win it, because he has little help around him.
What team?
Houston.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
The scoring option, other than potentially Jalen Green, is Christian Wood.
But he's not really a scorer,
even.
I don't know what you would label
He was
him as.
really good.
I know, but what would you label him as?
Christian Wood?
Yeah. What's his play style? What is he?
I don't remember his 3-point percentage, but if he's a good 3-point shooter, probably just a stretch big. But he was in the running for most improved if he didn't get hurt.
Right. All right. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Cade underperformed in his first game.
What did he finish with you now?
12 points on 5 for 15 shooting.
Ooh. I remember he started out the game pretty hot, made like 2 or 3.
Yeah, he started really good.
Cooled down, clearly.
And Jalen Suggs, 5th pick to Orlando, he dropped 22 or 24, I think.
I really like Jalen Suggs. He's a good player.
Yeah, I think the Magic did a really good job getting him at 5, and the Raptors missed out.
Also, I think the Magic in Houston, Magic, who the heck else is there too? And Suggs is a guard.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other guard competition is Fultz, but he tore his ACL, so I bet he's not going to come back as strong.
Yeah.
He tore something. I think it was his ACL, but whatever. So I think he could
something with his foot.
Maybe he could win Rookie of the Year too. Lot of options this year.
Yeah, it was an incredible draft. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Suggs would all have gone number 1 if they were all in different draft classes. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, this was projected to be a really good draft class, and hopefully it lives up to that. I feel like last year, top 3 picks, LaMelo, blanking on the name. Wiseman, and the other Anthony Edwards. Those 3, I feel like it just dropped off after that. I mean, those were the 3 big guys. Obviously, there was some people picked later that also did really good, but I feel like it's just those 3, and then it was like a drop off kind of. And even top picks like James Wiseman, I feel like he way underperformed.
Yeah, he's the if he was in the 90s, he would be a lot better because
tall.
He's not stretching the floor as much. Because you didn't need that in the 90s. They didn't shoot as many threes. You need a big man who can shoot now in the league.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough NBA draft talk. Also talked about some of the players from last year's draft. So let's move on to NBA free agency.
Well, this isn't a free agent signing, but Westbrook to LA.
Yeah. Big big
That's a
move. I mean,
new big three.
the big talk is Lakers are way too old, obviously.
Yeah.
I
What's
mean,
their average age? Like 31?
it's a lot. A lot. That's kind
Davis is the youngest out of their big three.
yeah, what? She's like 28 too. Whatever. But I mean, they got Carmelo. It's just an old team. But I want to say they're title favorites just because the experience. I just feel like not that many injuries. I think it's them or the Nets. Really, I think it's Nets in the East, Lakers in the West. No injuries. Those two teams are my clear favorites.
Yeah, if there's no injuries on both sides. Like, Nets had major injury
But
troubles.
I mean,
James Harden trade and on. And the Lakers, obviously, both LeBron and AD were out for like
just unfortunate for them,
months.
both of those teams last season. And yeah, I think definitely with the Nets. I mean, quickly move on to that topic. KD is a completely dominant player. We forgot when he was like injured for so long, but jeez.
Yeah, he's
so
one of the greatest shooters.
Who is your title favorite? I mentioned that. I think it's the Lakers or the Nets for me. I can't really choose one. I think they're just both stacked teams. Who is yours?
I think I don't like this. If Bucks can do what they did this year, I think they have a really good shot.
They lost like PJ Tucker. Although he's not a huge piece, he's still a fairly big piece.
He was great for them on defense.
Yeah.
He didn't really do much on offense.
Yeah.
He averaged like 2 points.
He wasn't there for that. Anything else to talk about with like them, or do you want to move on? Let's talk about Kyle Lowry sign and trade. So involved in that deal, we have Goran Dragic on the screen and Kyle Lowry. They were pretty much traded for each other. Also,
yeah, Precious Achiuwa was in that trade as well. It was a solid big for the Heat this year, but they had to include him.
I think
if they wanted Lowry.
I think the Heat could also be a really good team in the East. I mean, last year it was just weird. They went to the finals. What last year? Yeah.
2020.
So yeah, technically last year they went to the finals, and it's just like they didn't live up to expectations at all, and they had pretty much the same team, if not better.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Hero fell off. I think he's a big piece that actually needs to do something for them.
Duncan Robinson obviously was still good enough to earn 5 years, 90 mil.
I mean, Klay Thompson type player. You know, I think he's
on a much lower scale, but yeah.
I think he could live up to that almost, but without the defense, obviously.
Yeah, without the defense.
But so their lineup is Lowry. What? Go through it. So Lowry,
Hero,
Robinson.
Hero.
I think Lowry, Robinson.
Hero/Robinson.
Okay.
Hero/Robinson.
Butler.
Then Butler, Bam. Is their power forward?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Disregard that, but I think it's somebody. But it's a really good defensive team. So, but teams are clearly just going to seek out the Duncan Robinson matchup. So, I feel like if he can just improve his defense slightly, be decent, I feel like that he'll be a really good defensive team, and they'll also have really nice offense.
I think this move for the Heat could potentially be a Chris Paul sort of thing, where he makes the most out of Bam. Like how Chris Paul made the most out of DeAndre Ayton. I think Bam's also like he's an all-star player without Lowry, but I can see him just escalating to a higher scale.
Is Lowry obviously not on the same level as Chris Paul, but you think you can compare him as he'll have just as big of an impact?
Not as big of an impact because Bam's already an all-star level talent. I can see it. I can see it. Everything increasing.
All right, fair point. Let's move on to another team that made a lot of moves and might surprise a lot of people, which is the Chicago Bulls. So
I am so excited for Chicago this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's good that they made moves because since the Jordan era, obviously Derrick Rose, but that didn't last too long. They've just kind of been, mediocre to awful, honestly.
They had Jimmy for a few years.
So I feel like it's good for their fans that they made all these moves, and it shows that they're doing something. But was this year the year? There's all these super teams everywhere. I don't know if they'll be able to stand up to them. I mean,
I think they're at least top 6 seed.
yeah. So they
like
traded for,
maybe even top 4.
Or is it a sign and trade for Lonzo?
It was a sign and trade for Lonzo.
Same for DeRozan.
I think the Bulls traded 2 seconds, a first, Minu and Thad Young, if I remember correctly.
For who?
Lonzo.
What was DeRozan deal? What was that?
DeRozan it was a steal. I know that. Forget who it was.
Yeah. I think I still have
I
to
remember.
deal Lauri Markkanen too because he wants out of there. Or
Yeah.
has he been
He
moved?
I heard rumors about him going to the Hornets, but
Maybe. I don't know. But
who would the Hornets give up for that?
I don't know. But I mean, you can see the lineup picture on the screen right now. Lonzo, I feel like he's really coming into his own person. He's known as a playmaker, and that's good. So
A much better shooter than he used to be.
yeah, and he's really developing. That's a great point guard, shooting guard Zach LaVine. Really really good player. I mean, he's going to be surrounded by Lonzo, DeMar, Patrick Williams, all good defenders. So it's okay.
LaVine has been like,
I think he's arguably one of the best scorers in the league. So
yeah, he's been very underrated for his whole career, pretty much.
So then you got.
I saw something somewhere where the Bulls got more help for Zach LaVine in like a day than Wizards have ever done for Bradley Beal.
Yeah. So yeah, and then you got DeMar at the 3, solid player. I think he's just gonna be good defensive player, and then even more playmaking because he actually took on the playmaking role in San Antonio. So I feel like him and Lonzo, it's a great playmaking duo to set up. Maybe our next player, Patrick Williams, who interesting pick last year. A lot of people were like also picked way too
Surprise.
high. But he actually did do good last season for
he was solid.
His expectations, which wasn't a whole lot. But if he can continue to develop, I feel like it'll be a good team. I don't know if it's this year, but Lonzo's gonna develop. Zach LaVine's only getting better. DeRozan's old. Patrick Williams is gonna get better. Vucevic.
And
also
Vucevic,
I don't know.
if he can be what he was in Orlando, I don't remember what he did last year for the rest of the year for Chicago.
He was okay. Okay.
Yeah, if he can be Orlando Vucevic, then I think Chicago is going to be really good this year.
Yeah. So how long is this starting lineup? How long are they under contract for? Is it pretty much until Patrick Williams?
Oh, LaVine still needs to sign his extension.
Oh, right. I think he's probably going to sign that.
He's going to sign it. It's just a matter of cap room.
Yeah. And then I think, what's the next free agent then? Patrick Williams rookie deal? Like, I keep on saying maybe not this year, but maybe this year. You never know. If Lakers, Nets, big teams do get injured, I feel like they could also be a favorite. Really good team.
I don't think Chicago's gonna win it all, but I can see them making like
deep playoff run, maybe.
If they can like figure it out, if everybody works together well, I can see them potentially being conference finals if everything goes right for them.
Do they have decent depth beyond this starting lineup? They got Kobe White, I know,
yeah, Kobe White's pretty good.
Who else is on their bench? I feel like they gave up a lot of their depth. Lauri Markkanen wants out. I don't know. I mean, they gave up a lot for this good starting lineup.
Well, when they trade Markkanen, they might get stuff back.
Maybe.
Alex Caruso. You can't.
Whoa, boy.
Whoa, man.
That was like way too big of a contract. 4 years, 37 million. 4 years, 37 million. Doesn't seem like they have great depth. Great starting lineup though. I think that's enough to talk about the Bulls. Next is the New York Knicks, who also made a fair amount of moves. Not many new players, but I mean 2 new players obviously.
Well, they got
Starting
Kemba and
lineup.
Fournier, pretty much just from the Celtics. Cause,
Yeah. But besides that, it's just re-signing a lot of people. A lot of people.
they let Reggie Bullock walk.
I don't like
thought was
that. I feel like
interesting.
he was a really big piece for this team. He was.
He's a great shooter.
He was the shooter they needed because I mean the Knicks roster besides.
I think they were
besides
thinking.
him, the 3-point shooting on that team sucked. I mean Barrett was
I
questionable.
think they were thinking.
They didn't know if Randall was gonna be good. I don't know.
I think they were thinking with Fournier. That they were looking to
yeah.
get Fournier.
No,
I think
now-
they were getting with Fournier.
Now it's fine. The
can
3-point
replace
shooting is
him.
fine, but I just really liked him on the team because he was a big piece to their 3-point shooting part of the team.
Yeah, he went to Dallas, right?
I don't know, but
I think he went to Dallas,
wherever
which
he
really
went,
helps out Luka.
he was an underrated player definitely this year. Kemba and Fournier both arguably had Kemba had an underperforming season this year. I mean,
He was hurt for most of it.
yeah,
Like he didn't play back to backs.
the entire season. I mean, we know that detail because Celtics fans, but that's gonna hurt. You know, you need him. He's a good player, but I feel like not playing back.
Like who is the Celtics starting point guard?
I don't
Smart's
know.
not a.
We'll talk about that later.
Ugh.
But the
Yeah.
point is, Kemba, he didn't play back to backs. I feel like he never got into a rhythm. He was just like really bad. Also, I saw this like shot chart analysis thing. It was like coldest player from each spot on like the NBA half court. Coldest players from each spot. Kemba was like really bad percentage from top of the key 3, and he shoots those a lot. You know, he gets the screen, he shoots them. He was just really bad.
Yeah, those were like really good shots for him in like
Couldn't make
2019-2020 season.
Couldn't buy a bucket sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, new team, never know. Maybe he could restore his former glory. I mean, that's what we were thinking when he got moved to the Thunder, that the Thunder would try to, bring him back to maybe an all-star and then trade him again because he has way more value now. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, and then Fournier, he didn't have time to, I feel like, adjust with the team. It was a late season trade.
Well,
as
soon as he got traded to the Celtics, he got COVID.
Right.
To really hurt him, and he still averaged really good numbers from 3. I don't remember what they were, but apparently they were really good. And as a Celtics fan, it felt like they weren't going in as often as they actually were.
Yeah, but it's not his fault. I don't think he just didn't have time.
It's not. It's
didn't have
he
time
just
to adjust the team.
And it's unfortunate circumstance because he got COVID and he wanted to come back to the Celtics, but the Celtics weren't willing to match the offer.
Like 4-year, $20 million. Signed similarly with the Knicks. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, he got 80 mil over 4 years, which is
all right.
A lot of money.
Next from the Knicks, we're gonna talk about a lot of extensions and other signings. So we'll start with Trae Young. Got his extension. Performed really well in the playoffs this year. I think big surprise. Nobody thought the Hawks were really gonna do too much. But I actually really liked them. I thought they were a sleeper pick because they have a lot of depth. They had Trae Young, obviously Clint Capella, what's his name, John Collins. They also had shooters
they re-signed him.
Shooters like Gallinari, Herter, and Bogdanovich. So it was just a great.
And they still have Cam Reddish. They still have Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter, who they're gonna try and develop.
Didn't both of them have really bad injuries this season or something?
Yeah, they did. And Hunter was actually really good before his injury, and I don't remember what Reddish did.
Yeah. All I know is that I really like the Hawks team. Excited what they can do again this year. And then another thing we want to talk about while we're talking about Trae Young is the rule change about non-basketball moves and fouls.
His points are gonna go down 6.
You think it's gonna be that? I think he can work around it. I think he's still obviously a talented player. I feel like he can still get.
He's obviously really talented.
He'll still be able to get to the line by drawing contact. He just won't be able to do those BS stop start. Somebody touches him and then he just flops.
Same with James Harden.
not. I feel like James Harden is too good. I can't.
No, he's gonna work around it, but I'm just saying he's a big person who did it a lot. I saw
dude, I saw him in that Celtics series. That was the only time I really watched the Nets a lot. Dude was just dominating. I feel like he's too good.
I'm not saying he's gonna lower his scoring, but like he's still going to be somewhat effective.
He was still one of those players, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay,
and
moving on.
Like his price is gonna go down anyway because he's gonna be passing a lot to Kyrie and Durant. So
when he was on the court, which was barely ever. Anyways, other people that got extended besides Trey, we got Luka.
CP3.
CP3 too. I mean, CP3 that's big for the Suns. That means he liked what they were doing there, and he thinks they can do it again, which I think so too.
A lot of people
they got the core.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like how much they signed him for, but most of it's not guaranteed going into years 39 and 40.
But yeah, as long as he doesn't fall off a cliff, I think it'll be fine. But I don't think it's Chris Paul. I don't think he will.
Curry got extended.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna be a Golden State for life guy.
I like that. I really like that. You know, a lot of NBA players nowadays are not going with that. I think Giannis might be one of those players too. It's good to see that. You know, you got all these people moving, but it's good to see some people stay. I know it's not always the player's choice, but it's good to see that. Anybody else?
Luka got his.
We talked about
Luka
that.
got an extension.
And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gil, yeah.
Also got his.
I think like he's really good, but I don't think he's worth that money just yet.
I think he is because he was on an awful Thunder team, and before he got like also a foot injury, I think. He was putting up like
they did, but they just kept him out for the rest of the season.
He was putting up like really good numbers on a team where everybody knew he was the only offensive focus and the only one who could score. Yet he was still scoring. So I think that's pretty impressive. I think he's going to be a really good player, really good young player.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think he's worth that amount just yet. I think he needs to prove himself more in the playoffs once they get there.
Yeah,
they will in a few years because of all their draft picks and stuff.
Out. I think they're just trying to cement one piece, and then they'll have all these draft picks come in. I like what they're doing. I think it was a good move at the end of the day. All right, I think that's it for like all these extensions and signings. Next is LaMarcus Aldridge.
Marcus Aldridge. Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know.
I don't think that's good for him.
My first reaction was, isn't that not safe? Like, we just determined he had a heart problem. Which doctor said, you're good? I don't know.
Obviously, what exactly was his heart problem?
I don't know.
Like, if it's...
I mean, but of course I want to see him back, you know.
Yeah, everyone wants to see a comeback story like that.
Yeah, of course. So I think we're all rooting for Aldridge. If he comes
I just
back,
hope he stays healthy.
Cool. Next is just huge amount of trade rumors we have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's still a bunch of players who want to get moved. Players who we know have been trying to be traded by their teams. For example, Ben Simmons. I read some of those offers. The Warriors offer. Oh my God, what is?
That's so bad.
Who's their general manager? Like Daryl Morey or something?
Daryl Morey, yeah.
Oh my God, what is he thinking? He's not that valuable of an asset. He really isn't.
Alec and I were joking that Daryl Morey wanted to get Kevin Durant. And,
I want KD, Kyrie, and Harden, and all your first round picks, even you don't have any, for Ben Simmons. That's it.
And just to make the money work, we'll give you
we'll give you
Shake Milton.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, they're asking a lot. I think if they continue asking like that, he's not getting out of there. But if they can come to a reasonable trade, he'll probably move, I think, because they're obviously
saw something more recently, which could be just big posturing, but they were looking to more get Damian Lillard than trade Ben Simmons this offseason.
I saw that notification. Their goal is get Damian Lillard, and is Ben Simmons involved in that trade?
Simmons would definitely be in that trade.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
No doubt.
position for position, you got to make the money match, even though that's not really matching, I don't think. But yeah,
Philly would have to add
if they get Dame though, Dame, Joel Embiid, that's enough. Just Dame and Joel Embiid. I feel like they're.
Well, you need some people off the bench.
I know, but they are dominant players. Like, you know, you got
that's a
Dame
playoff
can
team.
take over. Dame can take over whenever he wants. You know, crazy hot player or crazy good player when he is hot. And then Joel Embiid, watch some games, dude, just like casually fades away, swish every time, and also like just crazy athletic too. I've seen like a bunch of failed posters, but then I've also seen a bunch of crazy posters. Like I think he's an insane player. Arguably, if he didn't get injured, might have won MVP, but
no.
Yes.
I still don't agree with that.
Yeah, if he didn't get injured,
Jokic still wins that MVP, man.
Nah, not in my opinion. Anyways. I think that's enough NBA talk, or do you want to talk about anything else?
I think that's good. I think we can move into the MLB section.
Alright. Why don't you start talking about this one?
So the Dodgers, they made some moves. They got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner from.
They got like a crazy amount of good pitchers. I know that. I heard some people talking about that while I was at camp.
They're trying to replace Bauer. Trying to replace him. But even if he does come back and all those allegations are false, they have like an even more insane pitching staff.
Yeah, it's so deep. It's crazy. I mean,
they got Trey Turner, who's a really good hitter.
List off all the crazy players they have. It's a lot.
Mookie Betts, obviously. Scherzer.
Anyways, yeah, we get it though. It's a crazy team. Also, you mentioned that the Yankees made a lot of trades.
The Yankees made a lot of moves. They got Joey Gallo, Andrew Heaney. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Clay Holmes, Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs. He was a big player for their championship run in 2016.
Yeah. I mean,
they made a lot of moves to try and fill position.
And just to make they're probably in playoff contention now, but I know they started the season awful.
I know they weren't very good for a while.
Yeah,
let me just double check the standings. They are 3 games back on the Red Sox, who are in the.
Yeah, I remember the Red Sox were way ahead of them, so they're definitely improving.
The Red Sox have not been doing well lately.
Because I think some injuries and stuff. A lot of
stuff. I don't remember that.
It was like COVID. A lot of people got COVID, I think.
No, I don't think that was the Red Sox. But the Red Sox last 10 games they've been 2-8. So
Jeez.
I'm going to a Red Sox game soon. So I'm hoping they win that.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm not proficient with the MLB, but one thing I can talk about is I went on vacation to Chicago. We watched a White Sox game. They were pretty dominant. Yeah, I did. It seemed like it was going to be a pretty close game because it was White Sox versus the Astros, and both of them were pretty high in standings, but White Sox shut them out. I forget what the score was, but it was pretty high to 0, and they looked like a great team, not gonna lie. And then every time, what's his name? The dude involved in the scandal. Main dude. Altuve, I think.
Altuve, yeah.
Booed him every time he went up to the plate. It was so funny. The entire crowd. Anyways. Anything else?
Not really. All I know is that, like, the wild card for the AL is going to be interesting.
How so?
The AL East all have 4 teams that are 60 wins and above right now. And that's going to be an interesting race between Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays, because I think the Rays will be able to hold on.
Yeah.
And then the National League, that's pretty much just the wild card there is definitely going to be Dodgers Padres. That's going to be a super fun game. They have a big rivalry. So pretty cool.
All right.
We can stop talking about MLB now. We
All right.
can move into the NFL section.
NFL, let's go. Okay. So we're gonna start early predictions for the Super Bowl. Who do you got?
I want to say Patriots, but I know that's not gonna happen.
No. Be realistic. But then again,
No.
I picked James Booknight for Rookie of the Year in the NBA. So whatever. Pick whoever.
we say we won't have bad takes, but then we will. So.
And then we have bad takes.
Chiefs. I can't go against.
I don't want to be like the childish pig, like, "Ooh, the Chiefs, they're so good at offense," but I mean, it is a dominant offense. You know?
It's if they can fix their O-line.
O-line.
They made some moves,
defense
but
their defense was iffy. It wasn't great. But
it's more their O-line. They couldn't do anything.
I mean, that was Super Bowl. That was their biggest weakness, was their O-line. It just let them down.
I can see the Browns being really good. They did last year. They were if Chiefs didn't get that fourth down conversion, I think the Browns could win that game.
Right. I mean, Mahomes wasn't there for like part of that game because he got like the concussion, so that affected it. But yeah, definitely a good sleeper team.
Yeah.
Bills. I like the Bills.
Yeah. That's the AFC. What about the NFC? I can see Tampa Bay going back.
Usual suspects. Of recently, Tampa Bay.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not sure about. I think he can. But I don't know.
Of course, I'm rooting for him. Long time Patriots.
Also, I'm gonna be annoyed because you could have stayed.
I don't know. Think about it though.
Could have been a lifer,
he
man.
would have won. Arguably, if Brady stayed in New England, we wouldn't have won.
We wouldn't have won another one.
No, because our defense was honestly pretty bad this year, except for that like one game against the Chargers in which we shut them out. But like our defense was like not what it used to be because we had a lot of players that opted out, like Dante Hightower. I think.
But now we have everybody opting in.
Yeah, so that's good.
The defense is gonna be a lot better this year, and I think Cam might be able to figure it out this year.
No, but like Brady. Actually, I think our offense. It's Tom Brady, possibly greatest of all time. But maybe it could have even been worse because Brady's a passing quarterback. Our wide receiver core sucked. At least Cam could run it.
Yeah.
I mean, our wide receiver
and
core
we've tried to improve that with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith.
That's just receiving core in general. Wide receiver core is still pretty iffy. But I mean, it's the two tight end look. I remember like it was Gronk and whoever the other big tight end was.
Edelman.
Who?
Oh, I don't know.
I
said Edelman.
It was like back in like the early days of Brady. They ran this like two tight end thing. It worked really well. So maybe they're trying to replicate that.
And Hunter Henry recently got hurt, but it's not looking too serious.
They say it's not severe, but NFL, they got never trust the players' words because they may not think it's serious, but the staff.
Did they say?
I don't know if he said it. It doesn't really mean anything because they gotta take it careful. Obviously, he may feel like he can play on it, but the doctors may be like, nope, not good.
Let's move on to Aaron Rodgers. He's staying in Green Bay after off season of. He won't.
I'm not coming back. I'm coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm coming back, and he came back.
Dodging reporters.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like there was definitely something going on in Green Bay. He's definitely justified. Rodgers is big enough of a figure that we should trust him for what he said.
I'm happy he got his wide receiver back. What's his name? Cobbs? Randall Cobb, yeah. Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb.
He was happy that he got him back, and I think that's a bigger reason why he stayed.
He used a big receiver for him. Always has been. Next.
And
Josh Allen extension.
$40 million a year.
It's a lot of money.
That is. And he just recently proved himself. How many years is he in the league? 2, 3?
I don't know, but I mean, last year he was really good
year.
He had a really good year, but
I think he can be worth it.
He can be. Right now, is he worth that money? No, but if he continues to develop, yes. So, neutral decision. I don't really know how to feel about it. I think it's good though, generally.
Yeah.
And next, I said the person that's been having a lot of controversy is Michael Thomas. Apparently, he ignored the team for like 3 months.
Yeah, he
or
blew them
whatever
off for the
during
entire
summer.
offseason.
But then he's just recently claimed, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." So I feel like
he didn't pick up a single call.
I'm gonna trust that he didn't. He did ignore them, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
trust
I'm
Michael
trusting the
Thomas's
team
word,
over.
because I don't know. That's weird. Michael Thomas last year, he had a really bad year because of the ankle injury, and I think he got surgery on his ankle just recently for it. I feel like that should have been done a while ago, but you know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
So he's gonna miss part of
I
this
think he's
season.
gonna wanna. He's gonna want to trade soon.
Maybe, but I mean, oh wait, Drew Brees, gone, adios.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think he's going to want to trade soon.
I feel like if he can be healthy, he gets a trade to somewhere, or maybe he stays in New Orleans and they get a quarterback that just has a decent arm, because everyone knows he's the slant boy, quote unquote. That's because Drew Brees could only throw short passes, really. I mean, he could probably throw long, but it wouldn't be as accurate. So like, he had to throw those short passes. He gets maybe a chance with a different quarterback than Drew Brees. Who knows? But I mean, it's staying healthy with that ankle, and seems like just being a good person, not ignoring the team. Who knows? And now we can talk about, it's kind of old news, but we can talk about the NFL draft for this year, the 2021 NFL draft. All right, so with the NFL draft, I feel like it's hard to grade players off the start because it's oftentimes slightly inaccurate. You know, with the NBA, I feel like some of the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, LeBron, they're picked high picks, 1 and 3 respectively. And then you got like Tom Brady, who in my opinion is the greatest of all time, picked in the 6th round. That's one comparison, but I feel like the NFL draft has a lot more players that bust who were picked high, and a lot more players who end up doing great who were picked maybe too low for what they ended up being. So it's hard to.
That happens.
Yeah, hard to say. So
that happens a lot in the NFL and MLB, NHL, like drafts that have a lot of rounds.
Any drafts that have a lot of rounds, I think it's just because it's less of
harder.
a player pool, obviously,
more people.
With the NBA. So I feel like one of these quarterbacks, one of these top 5 quarterbacks, is going to bust and not live up to maybe the hype surrounding them. And I think the top player, even though I'm a Patriots fan, is Mac Jones, just because I don't think he has much more of a ceiling than what he is right now, which is,
apparently he's doing really good, but I hope he doesn't flop.
Yeah, I hope too, but I feel like he might have the biggest potential too.
Weren't there talks of Trevor Lawrence not being very good in the practice that were debunked or whatever?
Yeah, but I feel like you can ignore that. Wait until the game starts. I don't care until that. I
mean, preseason has started.
Yeah, I mean, wait until actual regular season games, until we really decide. Yeah.
I think that's it. Thanks for listening / watching. All the image credits, we didn't make any of these images, so all the credits are going to be in the description.
Other than the thumbnail, we made the thumbnail.
All those images were still taken from people.
Anyways,
thank you for
make sure you like and subscribe in the comments. Drop a comment.
If you don't agree with any of our takes, let us know.
Or you agree. You think one of our takes will age brilliantly, and we are prophets. Who knows?
Just know we'll try to respond. We might even show you in the next, or talk about your take in the next podcast. Who knows?
Maybe we have a segment at the beginning from the last show,
Yeah.
So yep, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Peace out.